Hello everybody, my name is Zeno coming from Essence of Zen. Today we're going to talk about strings in programming languages as requested by one of our viewers, Midi. So sit back, relax, and let's jump down the rabbit hole, which is the call stack. Strings are actually very simple. We cover them a little bit in our first Python video tutorial from like 1 or 2 years ago, but because the video is dated and doesn't specifically target the roots and elements of strings and what they are, we're going to do this new in-depth video, but it's still going to be short. So basically what a string really is nothing but like an array of characters. Depending on what language you're using, it could be formed or processed a little bit differently, but generally speaking, in terms of the heuristics of it, most people consider strings to be nothing but sentences or words, because words and sentences are nothing but made up of individual characters. But if you're dealing with something like C++, you may see it work a little differently, because they literally act like an array of characters, and that's how you manage them. But for programs like Java and Python, it's a lot simpler. So to show you this, we're going to actually bring up idle. So to first of all, let's show you what a character is. A character, or a char, or char, depending on how you want to pronounce the concatenation of the word, is pretty much assigned by and remember, this is character, not a string. A character is assigned with a single quotation mark. So if we have a variable, my character equals A. So we do my character, it'll give you A. Or if you just print my character, it gives you A without the single quotation marks. So what a string is an array of all these things. So my string, and it is assigned using double quotation marks. Hello, I am a string. There you are. So if I do my string, is going to give you with the, so if you do my string, is going to call it with the double quotation marks, or single quotation marks, because Python is crazy that way. But if I do print, my string is going to give you the string without the quotation marks. So what makes the character and the string different? Well, that's just it. The character is a single letter. It's a single value if you want to go into like the hexadecimal or the ASCII values, but again, we're not delving that deep, but you can. Matter of fact, I believe there's a way to get the value, or it's OR. So if I go back to my first character, so my character is going to give you the value 97, because the ASCII value of the lowercase letter a is 97. So when you go into things like memory and stacks, and if you're like closer to the hardware for higher level lower level languages, you're going to possibly, if you have a limited amount of RAM, possibly be focusing on these particular values in the stack. However, for just simple strings in Python, you don't have to worry about that. But to show you that it still references the fact that a string is nothing but an array of characters, I can take my string and apply array tendencies to it. So I say my string at index 4, which should be the fifth. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 should be O. Yeah. And this also works for spaces. So a space, as you see right after the comma and the variable my string, the space is also a character. It has a value. It literally does. If we do OR and then we just do like space, it'll give you 32. 32 is the value for space. Just like there's a value for the next paragraph key, the next line, the null character. But we're not going to go too far into that as well. So that's generally what a string is, nothing but an array. And if you don't know what an array is, you should watch our other video here. So that's pretty much what a list is. It's nothing but a concatenation of characters. It's a list of characters. A list in Python is also known as an array. So an array, a list, same thing. And they're just, grouped together to make a heuristic manner a sentence. So when you're dealing with strings, it's very simple. Most people, when they use strings, is to display a message or to output what a user is inputting or play around with that. So if in an instance, if you want to have a user input a sentence or a phrase and you want it to return in all lower cases, you can actually modify that data with built-in functions. So if I use let's say string 1 equals I'm a lily nilly. Let's say I want all of I'm a lily nilly to be in lowercase. What I can simply do is do print and do string 1 dot lower. And what this does is prints it out in all lowercases. Imagine if someone had a string with I'm crazy, with a bunch of spaces in it, right? What you could do to get rid of those spaces is print string 2 dot strip. I believe it's strip. Yep. And if you're curious, the cursor shows you that it can I'm pressing the N key. It will not go further back, i.e. got rid of the extra spaces. And that really wraps it up for basically what a string is. If you have any more questions about the fundamental basics of what a string is, I highly recommend well, one, ask us if you want another video to showcase more C-style strings or a different form of strings, do experiments with strings. Feel free to request and we will make them. Oh, a fun note is actually, yeah, you can actually print out strings backwards. How is it done? I can't remember. I think it's print a one. Yeah, you can actually print strings backwards using this, like a few more of array / for Python list tendencies along with the string itself. So guys, that again wraps up the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you want to see more, subscribe, like the video if you liked it, disliked it. If you disliked it, let us know why you disliked it. If you did indeed dislike it, my name has been Zeno, coming from Essence of Zen. I will see you in the next video, but until then, as always, make sure you indeedly do take care.